Good morning, my name is Chartpunk and this is your daily dose of Bitcoin. New day, new candles, no financial advice. Let's go. I wish to start today's video on the 6-month liquidity chart, or liquidity heat map if you like, because I want to show you something. A lot of you are currently probably thinking about whether this current parabolic move on the Bitcoin market can continue or not. Now, my thoughts on this are the following. As you see, basically this move has started somewhere a week ago. There was the first ETF short squeeze, the ETF fake news short squeeze, if you will. And then we had a parabolic move to the upside. And what you can see here is that on the 6-month liquidity chart, this current move has completely taken out all liquidity to the upside. If you might be aware, the big players cannot really appear on the market through market orders or limit orders because they are just simply too big for that. So the big players need to move the market through liquidity zones. Basically, these liquidity zones are zones where a lot of short positions has been either margin called or liquidated through stop loss orders. In any case, these zones contain a lot of buy orders, which are the closes of the short positions. Now, due to the fact that basically all of the liquidity has been grabbed to the upside, I think the bulls have now two options to continue this parabolic move if they want to continue. The first is that now, as this upwards liquidity is gone, they really need some fresh capital, some new longs, either spot or margin longs entering the market. That is now the condition to continue this parabolic move to the upside. Based on the simple fact that there is no fuel in short liquidations anymore on the 6-month time frame, if the bulls want to push the market higher, they really need to step in with some big capital because their fuel, their liquidity zones have already been grabbed to the upside. There is also a second scenario. There is the second scenario in which we see pullbacks, and during the pullbacks, the short traders will again start to accumulate short positions, therefore creating new liquidity zones to the upside that can be grabbed and that can result in these accelerated up moves. In any case, I think that the move that we saw here, this significant up move, then the other significant up move, this is now something which is in the past, as we have now no immediate liquidity clusters to support such a parabolic move. Either the first option or the second option that I have just described shall happen on the market in order to see a continued move to the upside. If we zoom in a little bit, this is the 24-hour heat map. Then what we can see is basically right now we have two interesting liquidity clusters. One is just under 35K and the other is just above 33K. This is, I think, the zone which will limit the current sideways consolidations. These low time frame liquidity clusters usually get grabbed in both directions. So those of you who like to trade the sideways markets, I think these are interesting support and resistance zones for the very, very close future. Now, let's take a look at the Consensio charts. My current position indication is still 6 out of 9. And with this parabolic move on the weekly chart now, I am waiting for the confirmation to enter long positions on the weekly time frame as well. Right now, what we can see on a weekly is that the 3-period moving average and the 7-period moving average are crossing over an ascending 30-period moving average, which is a very bullish signal. If we get a confirmation during this week's candle, then I will not need to add only 1, but 3 positions on the weekly time frame, because that will switch or flip, if you will, this time frame into a long 3 position indication according to the Consensio trading system. Right now, I think the most important zone is somewhere here between 32K and 30K. This is a very, very long zone. I can pull this back all along, you see, until 2020. So this is a very significant horizontal zone. This is basically the border between new bull market and a sideways consolidation. I think that these zones that have been built for such a long time usually get a retest. So I think there will be a high probability that this zone will be retested. If not tomorrow, then next week. If not next week, then probably next month. But this is just how the market is working. So to me, the most important fact in the future will be whether this support zone can get retested and whether it will hold. If I just focus on the trend structure, then as I said to you, I am now eyeing a 3 out of 3 position allocation on the weekly chart, but I am not there yet. 3-day Bitcoin time frame. Here the Consensio system very timely signal to us when we need to enter. Here there was a volatility squeeze, and then the moving averages have started to align in the right order. Here we, at around 28,500, we received the long 3 signal, and those of you who are trading the Consensus trading system on the 3-day time frame have been staying in a 3 out of 3 position since then. And what's more, on the daily time frame, we have a very solid long 3 position structure, and the Consensus trading system has given you the entry signal somewhere around here at around $27,000, $28,000. So those of you who are trading Consensus would very likely profit from this current up move. If we just close in to a very short 4-hour time frame, then what we see is that there is a sideways consolidation. There is a congesting price action with smaller and smaller spreads, and the volume is also descending. This is usually the sign of a consolidating market, and when the price reaches the apex, then usually you can receive a significant move either to the upside or to the downside. If we zoom in to the micro 1-hour time frame, then what we can see is that we have a serious volatility squeeze going on right now. All the 3 moving averages are basically within a $10 zone. This is the kind of squeeze that we saw here as well, when all the moving averages have congested into a very, very narrow zone. Then we saw a flush of longs here to the downside, and then the price boom exploded to the upside. I think this is again some kind of a consolidation zone, and when the market will decide which way to go, it will be a very, very aggressive move either to the downside or to the upside. Those of you who are trading the low time frames most likely will see which will be the direction to go. That's it for today, guys. I hope you like these short Bitcoin market updates. If this content is of value for you, then please help my work with a like, with a comment, and share my work in the social media. That does not really cost anything to you, but it means the world to me. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day and happy trading. Bye-bye.